Hey guys, and welcome to the third episode of Beer Me at the Mayor, the place with 100 beers on tap and the perfect place to do some beer reviews. So let's get started. The beer we are covering today is from Horse Dragon Brewery, which is a Fort Collins brewery, so it gets some cookie points from me right there. The beer is Sad Panda. It is a coffee stout and it is 7.5% ABV. When I first drank it, I got the coffee taste. As I kept drinking it, I started to detect a more vanilla taste or a creamer taste. And then as I kept drinking it, I started to get more of like an almond or some type of nut taste. Then, as I kept drinking the beer, I don't know if they have any of these, but these are what I'm detecting. I started to get a little bit of a chocolate taste. So it is possible that they kind of mixed those ingredients, and then as the beer warms up, I started to detect those flavors. And that's pretty cool.
The coffee is actually brought upon by using a process called a cold toddy, or a cold brewing process. We take all the coffee that we have, we do a sanitary cold brew essentially, where it sits overnight in refrigeration for about 16 hours, extracting all that full flavor without all the bitterness and astringency that can come from a brewed coffee. And that is then added to our bright tanks, actually post-boil, post-fermentation, as to provide that full wallop of the coffee flavor without it being fermented out. Any type of sugar that can be added to a beer during the brewing process will actually be fermented out in most cases. Honeys and sugars of any level will actually be fermented out and they'll change the flavor of the actual beer. So in order to get that full flavor of what we want out of the coffee, you add it just right before you keg it.
For this beer, I'm gonna narrow it down to one thing, and I'm gonna say the drinking complexity as I kept drinking it. As the beer warmed up, I started to detect a lot more of the flavors and complexities from it. I started to get used to the coffee flavor, and then I started to pick out what was going on inside of them. And I really enjoyed that. It was a really fun beer to drink because of that. So for this beer, it started as like a 7.8 or 7.9 at the beginning. Midway went to about an 8.2, and at the end, it's going to an 8.5. So I'm giving this beer an 8.5 out of 10.